This conference will now be recorded.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. We have a couple of new faces, a couple of faces that have been here with us before. Like always, we're going to break it up into 2 to 3 pieces. The first piece is we're going to go through a round of introductions, so the people that are new can learn what everybody does, and vice versa. The people that have been here before can learn about what the new people do. The second part is we are hopefully the introductions will trigger some questions. So I'll open it up for everybody to go back and forth and just ask questions based on the introductions about something that you may be curious in, or if you can offer a referral, that's great, or set up a meeting for some other time. And then the third part of it, I'll just open it up for general discussion. We can talk about anything. We can talk about things that are business related. We can talk about things that are Steelers related. This group was originally a physical live lunch meeting in the Pittsburgh area, and you can't see it because it's a little low, but Barb is wearing her Steelers colors, and so am I. And as we're recording this, there you go. We're 9-0, and as Jack was saying, who's on the phone, the 1972 Dolphins are getting a little nervous, but still a lot of season left, so never count your chickens before they hatch.
Yep.
Anyway, so we'll get started. I'm going to just for a second mute. Well, I'm not going to mute everybody because I get in trouble with the people that are on the phone. So, Jack, I'll tell you what, you're on the phone. Why don't you start, and why don't you introduce yourself to the rest of the group, and then I'll go in order of the people that are visible to me here online.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, Sal. Again, this is Jack Maitland, everybody. And again, I'm sorry I had to come in this way. I normally like to come in on the regular Zoom call, but I actually hail from Pittsburgh. I've been in South Florida now for since the mid-'70s, and my background, I'm actually you got some noise here. I don't know if that's coming from me or where it's coming from, Sal, but there's a beeping sound there. Can you guys hear that? Or?
Yeah, I hear it.
Anybody know what that is? Or am I the only? Hopefully, I'm not the only one hearing it. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you, and we do hear the beeping.
Okay. Well, I don't know where that's coming from, but I don't believe it's my phone. But anyway, I'm actually in kind of a retirement mode, folks. I had a 40-year background in the advertising agency business. Close to 30 of those years were running my own advertising agency here in South Florida, and I retired from that shortly after the turn of the century. And I currently work now as kind of a part of my retirement plans with a science-based manufacturing company called Melaleuca. It's a kind of a funny name. If you ever heard of tea tree oil before, the real name is Melaleuca oil. And the company works with the Australian government to harvest Melaleuca trees. And from the oil of the trees, comes tea tree oil. And it's a solvent, it's a fungicide, it's a antiseptic. And Melaleuca has built, after 35 years, a company that's basically green. I mean, there's natural products, no harsh ingredients, over 400 of them, everything but paper goods and refrigerator items. And I basically help them promote their brand. It's kind of like a Sam's Club or a Costco. It's a $19 a year membership, and everybody does a little bit of replacement shopping every month. We keep a couple of lists on the refrigerator, the weekly lists at the store, and our monthly Melaleuca shopping. And we've evolved now into the largest private online wellness shopping club in North America. People have thrown us in the MLM, the multi-level marketing bucket, but it's a totally different culture. We are not distributors. We don't inventory. We don't sell products. We're self-consumers, and we have been incented. The company offers a revenue sharing program for people that want to help them promote their brand and tell their story, not sell their products. So basically, I've been involved for 18 years. We've developed a nice residual income because we get paid for referrals and we have a 96% reorder rate, which basically tells you three things. Our products are good, they're reasonably priced, and over time with a 96% reorder rate, you can develop residual income. So I'm looking for people that are proactive towards health and wellness, and I'm looking for people that might want to develop another income source that will not interfere with your current responsibilities. So anyway, Sal's got my info. I can't really post it here, but thanks for listening, and I'd like to anxious to hear what you all have to say, and anywhere I can refer business to you guys, I certainly will. So thank you again.
Oh, I forgot to unmute myself. I was going to say thank you for sharing that, and I think we were just transcribing you in Morse code, so don't worry about anything.
Yeah.
But I will share your contact information, which, by the way, just real quick, everything you put in the chat, I email to everybody at the end. So feel free to put in the chat whatever you want, but typically your contact information, link to your LinkedIn profile, anything like that, and then I'll share it with everybody at the end of the conversation. Let me see who I have here. Barbara, if you could please introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
Certainly. Hi, I'm Barbara Klein, the Love Coach, and I'm the owner of the Best You Dating and Life Coaching. And I love helping singles who are feeling frustrated and lonely by teaching them how to discover their own self-worth so they can fall in love with someone they are aligned with. I also run 2 meetup groups. One's called Self-Improvement Singles. The other is called Surviving and Thriving Divorce. They are all virtual right now. And I love supporting my community. I currently am also doing a weekly Facebook Live on my business page to help encourage people to gain success with online dating. So again, I'm Barbara Klein, the Love Coach.
Excellent. And a fellow Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Jennifer, if you could please introduce yourself to the group.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I've been friends with Sal for a couple years now. I was a federal behavior analyst and a psychologist, so I get into like neurobehavioral marketing and consulting. I'm 6 credits away from my MBA. I'm ABD in educational leadership. I think I have like 6 degrees, but anyhow, that's my educational background. Currently, I'm consulting for every couple weeks, it changes as to what I'm doing. So right now, I'm representing 2 authors that write mental health wellness books. I'm trying to get them promoted for my marketing. I'm marketing a political candidate, and I'm trying to find him funders. And I am working with Sal on Hemp West Virginia, a program to get everybody united and working for a hemp manufacturing facility in northern West Virginia. I lived in South Florida for 25 years. So that's me. I'll talk to anyone free for 30 minutes. I call people to see if it makes sense to work together. And I'm on disability for a neuromuscular disorder.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's see, moving down the list here. Rhoda, if you could please introduce yourself to the rest of the group.
All right, am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Good. I'm Rhoda Israelov from Indianapolis, Indiana. My company is Say It For You, and we write content primarily for websites and blogs. And so today, for example, I spent my time writing one blog post for a reverse mortgage company and another for a personal injury attorney about all the children that unfortunately are killed in the United States because their parents do not properly store the guns. that are in the home. And so one of the things that I love about my work, even though these are sad topics that I'm writing about sometimes, is the variety of it. And so I am a retired certified financial planner. And so I decided that I wanted more variety in my work. And so every client is different from every other one. So they are, in a way, consulting clients as well, Jennifer. So each one of them, I need to understand them better. I need to have myself or one of my team members be a psychologist for them to help them dig down and see what really is the message that they want to bring to visitors to their website. So Rhoda, we say it for you.
Excellent. And next we have somebody that is not quite a new face, has been with us for a couple of meetings, so he knows the drill. But relatively, this is his first season. Let's just say it that way. So Selah, if you could please unmute yourself from your side and reintroduce yourself to the group.
Hey everybody, I'm Selah. I work with Doolin Media. We're a digital marketing company out of LaPorte, Indiana. And hey Sal, I was about to say, I probably should have got a meeting for free since I bought a plus one. So I bought my kid. Since COVID, we kind of just been tough finding a good babysitter. So I kind of had to bring her along as my esteemed colleague today. So I work with
Well,
the
we'll sign
digital
you up for
marketing.
free for the next one. How's that?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. She snatched my headphone
I
out.
said I'm going to sign you up for free to the next one. Just bring your guest along again.
All right. Yeah, so I work with a digital marketing company. We do web design, video, basically anything that's online advertising. So social media, posting, targeted ads, Google ads, SEO. We just try to be like the Swiss Army knife in the marketing world. So and one thing that I kind of love about my job is that meeting with different businesses. Every market is different. Every industry is different, right? Like has their own story to tell. So really, we work with any companies that could be a small business. They could do industrial work, commercial work. At the end of the day, Google's that beast. It used to be the phone books, but now it's Google. So anybody that's searching on something, especially right now during the virus, like people are getting less phone calls, less walk-ins. So your information really has to be online. You have to have a strong online presence, considering everything that's going on with the virus. So that's kind of where my company thrives is, doing the online marketing because I mean, everybody uses it. Everybody has a cell phone or a computer or a laptop, a tablet. Everyone's either searching for a product or a service. So what makes us different from other companies is that some marketing companies, they do like a 6-month contract or a 1-year contract. Everything we do is month to month. So we work for our clients every 30 days. And, our philosophy behind that is, if we earn your business every month and you're happy, why would you cancel? So, if you guys know any business owners or are a business owner that needs any digital marketing services, we ask that you just give us referrals. I'll put my LinkedIn info in the chat in case you guys want to connect and, reach out to me. But, I love referrals, but I also love knowledge. So if any of you guys read any books or articles or anything that help, get you to where you at today, as far as self-development, self-improvement, I'm always about bettering myself. So if you guys got any knowledge, anything that, that you read that helped you out, please share that knowledge. I try to say knowledge is meant to be supplied, not denied. So yeah, other than that, my LinkedIn info is in the chat, and I won't be able to stick around too long because got to take care to a babysitter, of course. But I'm really interested about hearing about everybody else and learning more about you guys.
Okay. And by the way, if you can stay for a second after we do the introductions, maybe the first question is I'll ask everybody to mention a book that they've read recently that they really like from a business perspective. Let's see. Stephanie Peterson.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Peterson. Now you have to think think back when events were still happening and aren't on hold right now, but it only takes 3.5 seconds for people to walk past your booth space and decide whether they want to come and talk to you. It only takes them 15 seconds to decide if they like you. So it's one of those things where I'm with Exhibit. We do trade show marketing and out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, but we do national business all the way around, and we hold a GSA contract, which means we work with the federal government on a lot of different outreach things that they need as well. So we do anything from logo design, marketing collateral, print, banner stands, table throws, trade show booths, all the way up to show management, where if you have a booth that you travel with and you need help with the services, people putting it together, taking it down, so all you have to do is come and socialize. But with COVID coming, we've had to kind of morph into something a little bit different, but still have the trade show marketing behind us, but not just trade show. So we do a lot of different consulting, and we do virtual background design. I don't have my virtual background because it won't go into this one. Otherwise you would be able to see it if you're on the networking after work. But it's one of those things where we decided to go e-commerce. So we spent a lot of the downtime when our governor shut us down the first time, filling in and going e-commerce, putting our information on the site. But we also hold one of the largest networking events in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area called the B2B Expo NM. And so you'll see that link that I put in the chat. But it's an event that we hold once a year. It's the largest networking event here in Albuquerque. And because of the shutdown in April, we had to move it virtual in August. And then next year, we're planning on it live. But networking is such a huge thing out there. It's great to get to know other people, and it's nice to be invited to groups like this because I've been able to actually get face-to-face again, which is what I absolutely love and enjoy. So Sal, thank you for inviting me to this group. I really enjoy getting to know new faces. I am the business development manager here at Exhibit, and I am going from doing just the local face-to-face networking here to the national, which I have really enjoyed. So thank you again for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. And let's see. Last but not least, and I don't know if Alejandra was able to get on the phone or not, but I'll try to get a hold of her too because she was having a little trouble logging on. But before we do that, Stephanie Rukin, if you want to introduce yourself to the rest of the group, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Rukin from Chicago, Illinois. I completed my bachelor's degree in business management at National Louis University in April of 2020. However, my experience as administrative assistant at the Cancer Wellness Center of Northbrook, Illinois, receiving calls, answering questions about programs offered at the center, as well as organizing events, is what gave me the confidence and also fulfilled a lifelong dream to pursue my passion to help as many people possible to achieve their goals by helping this organization. Pursuing a career in the world of human resources will give me the opportunity on the focus the most company's most important asset, its employees. I'm organized, self-disciplined, dedicated team member who collaborates well with others. I'm looking forward to learning more about the world of human resources management. I've been curious to learn more about the world of business, how it brings cultures together, and I love the opportunity to bring my skills to life. My strong points are outstanding communication skills, time management, administrative, interpersonal, leadership, and actively listening. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. And we have, let me see if I can do this. A minute. Okay, Alejandra, if you can unmute yourself from your side and introduce yourself. Alejandra had a little trouble getting on.
I'm so excited. I was listening to you guys here on the phone though.
She always gets to go first, so this is the one time she's going to get to go last.
Oh, it's okay. I listened to everybody, so I had a great recommendation. What was his name? This is the bad thing about being online. It's like I knew that he was in digital media, but like I didn't catch his name because it was not a normal name. I have a great recommendation. Okay, you're gonna have to give him this because I don't see him. What's his name?
Are you thinking of Selah? S-E-L-A?
Selah. Yes, I just didn't. He said it, and I'm like, I didn't catch that. Stephanie Peterson was like, oh, thank the Lord. I'm like, that was much more catchable for this foreign girl. Thank you, guys. But I listened to all of you. I didn't miss a beat, but thank you, Sal. And I'm sorry I was a pain in the neck. I know I was texting Sal, trying to get on the call. You know, but it's my every 2 week fix. I could not go with that. I felt like a little, withdrawal syndrome if I couldn't get in here. So I appreciate you, Sal, for putting the meeting together. And as the last one today, I am going to remind you to introduce yourself since Yona is not with us. But my name is Alejandra Kalman. I actually work with a company called ACN. I own my own business within ACN. So I'm an independent representative within ACN. I'm a regional vice president. I've been doing it for 80 years, loving every second of it, especially now during COVID. And what I do is I do two things. The first thing that I do is I help people lower their bills. Bills that they're paying every day, from residential to commercial. So if there's a business owner trying to lower bills, or if there is a residential person like trying to lower their bills, I can help both of them. The second thing that I do is I help people earn residual income, something that most business owners don't have. It's a second stream of income by doing something they're already doing, which is paying their bills at the current place of business. I do work very closely with the real estate world, just because every single time an agent or a broker closes on a house, what do? Set up services. So it's a one-stop shop concierge service for that realtor. Mortgage people, same situation. Real estate investors, same thing. They have tenants that are currently paying bills. Property management, my bread and butter. Same thing, they have to onboard tenants. And so I work closely with them to help the setup of those services, make an easier process for the client happier, better reviews, and residual income for those that they were already doing the work without getting paid before. So it's a no-brainer. I love doing it. I work with 27 different countries. So I work globally from the comfort of my home. So if you know anybody in the real estate world, or any business owner that maybe would not mind having a little passive income coming on the side, I'm your girl, and I would love to meet individually with each and every one of you, because as you can imagine, with such a team, a big team globally that my husband and I were able to actually put together, I know a lot of people, and I'm a big B2B person. And immediately when you tell me what you're doing, my wheel starts turning, and how can I help you, and who in my contacts I can put you in touch so that you can benefit from each other's contacts. So that's how I like to operate. I believe we have two hands, one to give, one to receive. So I'm all about giving. So guys, my name is Alejandra with ACN, and I am happy I was able to connect.
Excellent. And before I introduce myself, let me say this, so you guys can keep an eye out for this. If anybody wants to sign up for the whole next year, all the virtual conferences that we do every other week, so that's about, whatever it is, 2 by 12 is 24. I'm going to put out a special price of $49.99. I'm going to limit it. Here's the reason I'm mentioning it to this group first, because this group is a lot of the people that are really coming to all these meetings, including Jack, who's on the phone. Hopefully he's still on the phone. I'm going to limit it to 5 people, so we leave another 5 because for new people, so there's some back and forth. But to this group, I'm going to email this group first and give you guys 24 hours to sign up if you want to take those 5 slots. And if there's any left over, then I'll just email to the whatever. We have like 1,600 people in our mailing list. So if you're interested in that, look for that email later today and sign up before I make it available to everybody else. Okay, just a quick introduction of myself before I open it up for everybody. And Alejandra is always very kind to remind me, because trust me, I've blown through it more than once. I'm a business broker. I help people buy and sell businesses, anything from 10 to 250 employees, any type of business that has 0 to 10 or $20 million in revenue. And I know now, as Stephanie was saying, it's a little bit of a hit and miss, everything that's going on with the coronavirus, but hopefully break even, positive cash flow, anywhere from 0 to $1 million or $2 million per year. Typical client and someone we can help very well is someone that started their business 10, 20, 30 years ago, is now in that age range of 60 to 80 and is looking to retire and go play golf in Florida, hang out at the beach, take the RVs cross country, hang out with the grandkids. That's always a popular one too. And I always tell them, well, before you can do that in style, you got to come see me so we can sell your business, cash you out, and you can do all that, because let's face it, Social Security is a good safety net, but doesn't cut it as much anymore. And that's it. And I'll put my contact information in the chat when I email it out to everybody. And you have it in all my emails at the bottom. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to open it up for everybody now. So everybody's unmuted, including Jack if he's still on the phone line.
Yeah, I'm on.
Have any of the introductions triggered any questions from anybody to anybody?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Barbara, I see you're a dating coach on Facebook.
That is correct.
Do you want referrals?
Always.
Okay, because there's a lot of people that have 0 skills. So I will refer them to you so you can discuss to them.
That's awesome.
I would love the opportunity. Thank you.
Let's see, I'm going to ask a question from Barbara that came into my mind as we were messing around and having fun and doing these introductions. And I know Barbara, because of what you do, I love her. She always gets questions every single session. But have you ever had, or even if you have not, what would you suggest? Have you ever had people that like kind of start to date or want to date, but they really can't get along because they're either different sports teams and they're like real hardcore fans, and now this one maybe gone a little bit, but also different parties. One's like hardcore Republican, one's like hardcore Democrat. Have you ever had that situation in real life? How do you deal with it? Is there hope?
Okay. So personally, my boyfriend voted for the opposite person that I voted for. So when the election started to ramp up, and he had voted for that particular person last election, which was before we started dating. So at some point he revealed that he had made that selection, but then he started making comments like, but he's acting like an idiot and blah, blah, blah. So here we come towards this election. And when he revealed that he was not voting for the same person I was going to vote for, and, he sort of had reasons, I'm like, okay, well, listen, we're not going to allow this to cause a problem in our relationship. We're just not going to talk about it. And I said, because whoever wins, one of us is going to be disappointed. Well, I'm really glad I'm not disappointed, but I still can't talk about it. Anyway, so in regards to that. Now, in regards to dating in general or meeting people, the reality is that we could meet, and I've experienced this myself. We could go I went on 100 first dates, okay, or first meets, whatever you want to call them. And I didn't feel aligned with 95% of them. Some of them didn't feel aligned with me out of the 5% that I liked. So, that's the reality. When you first meet somebody, if they're totally, somebody that you would never want to be a friend with, then don't move forward. If you meet somebody and you feel, wow, I could see being friends with this person, well, that's a plus. If you really feel this charge of energy, of connection, like chemistry, as they call it, well, that's also another reason to move forward. But again, both people have to feel that there's a possibility in order to go on a second date or to continue to pursue this friendship that could possibly elevate to a relationship. So that's just the nature of the beast, because think of how many people you've met in your life or worked with that you wouldn't pick as your friends. Same thing.
Perfect. Thank you. Well, any questions from anybody to anybody on the introductions?
I have another question for Barbara. So what about the distance thing? Because today, singles can meet someone the way I'm meeting you, and we're miles and miles apart. And so how does that work? You know, you don't really have the mechanism to feel the chemistry, if you will.
Well, actually, you can. So the way I look at meeting people is whether you do it virtually, whether you meet in person, or you meet organically, say at a party or at a store or at work, whatever the circumstance might be, you get a sense of whether or not your personalities connect or detract from each other. So, you know, for example, I'm interested in men. So if I meet a man and he just does all the talking and doesn't really let me respond or doesn't ask me any questions, but feels the need to continue to talk and talk, well, for me, that's a turnoff, because I never felt heard in my past relationships. So that would be, it wouldn't matter whether we're on Zoom, on FaceTime, Google Duo, any kind of video chat, or meeting in person. If that's the behavior of that person, whether they're nervous or not, because some people will react a little oddly when they're nervous, that would definitely be somebody that I would say to myself, I have no interest in seeing this person again or communicating with this person again, because that's not the way I want a relationship to build. I want somebody who is able to hear me. So in regards to video dating, because it is possible to do that, at least initially, until you feel comfortable getting together, whether you are nearby or whether you're an hour away or whether you're 5 hours away, it's still possible to create a quality friendship without ever face to face being in the same room as the other person. So, you know, when people say, I would never want to date anybody that lived in a different state, I understand that, because when we connect with another person and we want to build on a relationship, we want to be able to see that person regularly. But there are people that have created quality relationships that are long distance relationships. And so, you know, it is something to be considered. And when, you know, there are different people. Jennifer just left because her back's bothering her. But you know, when you decide that dating is something that you want to do, you get to decide what criteria, what standards, what miles or distance are you willing to go. And so those are things that people get to decide. You know, it being that we're self-employed here, and we pretty much, at least I do my work virtually. I can do it from anywhere. Rhoda, you probably can do yours from anywhere. If you chose to travel or have somebody travel to see you face to face, you know, that's really a choice that we get to make. So, you know, and that's the thing. When I work with my clients, we figure out what exactly feels comfortable for them. What exactly are they looking for? And those are
the flip side
I
is,
ask in order to get clarity. Yes, Sal?
no, I was going to say, and the flip side is, look at how much fun we've been having messing around with the football jerseys and the Steelers and all that. So, you know, you can develop a relationship and a friendship and a fun atmosphere through video chat. I mean, obviously, you'll never be able to have that personal interaction until you're face to face, but you can get to know each other. I think that's fair to say. And
Yes.
same thing goes for business too, by the way. At some point, you know, I'm old school, so I like to meet business people, you know, face to face and go see their businesses and what I do. But you know, unfortunately now we've got to deal with the cards we're dealt and make the best of it.
Right.
Anyway, any questions for somebody else or other questions, other things people want to know based on the introductions?
I have a question for Stephanie.
Yes.
I know that you had LinkedIn, we had connected through LinkedIn. Can you
Yes.
clarify a little bit more? Are you looking for a job or a position in that area? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, I'm looking for position in human resources in Chicago.
Okay. Can't help you much with that in Albuquerque, but if I hear anything as I'm out there, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, are you still on the phone?
Yeah, can you hear me? I may be muted. Can you hear me or not?
No, we can hear you perfectly. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you were here or not. It's anything you want to say or anything?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I'll tell you what, Sal, you can put me down for one of those 5 spots. I'll respond when I get your email.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, see that, but the problem is you're on the phone, so you can't see what I'm wearing.
I got a pretty good idea. My dad played for the Steelers in 1944.
He is originally from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I know that.
In fact, they used to pass a hat in the stadium, he said, to pay them. Things were a little different back then.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, listen, let's do something real quick, and I'll do this for the benefit of Selah.
To not interrupt you, but don't forget, like, the promise to Selah, because I have something for him that is magnificent.
No, that's exactly where I'm going.
Okay,
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, even though Selah had to leave, because this is recorded, and this is the beauty of it, we can record it and he can watch it later. Does anybody, and we'll start with Alejandra, want to suggest a good book for him to read as somebody that wants to, you know, starting in business and wants to develop professionally or whatever, just a book you'd want to recommend? So Alejandra, if you want to go first, and then we'll go with Stephanie.
Sure. As far as books goes, I have 1,000,001 books to recommend that are great, but I have been doing something, and I'm on my 3rd round of it, which is listening to these audios. And I have read it all. I mean, I've been in network marketing for 8 years. So Jack, you got me, right, buddy? Like, we read it all, and we are very deep into, like, personal development. So, I've always got that right? So I've always heard a lot about. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I've always heard a lot about the law of attraction, and you kind of, what you think is what you become, and Think and Grow Rich has always been my top book. But as much as you think something and you constantly think something, sometimes it still doesn't become. So you end up starting to not believe that it works. Anybody have felt that or read that or heard that? Or yeah, I see Barb saying yes, I see Stephanie saying yes. Great. So I stumbled. I don't think I stumbled, but I kind of stumbled in front of these audios because I actually met these guys from Argentina. Reached out to me because they saw one of my presentations on YouTube and they wanted to know if I worked in that country, because they wanted to work with me. I made friends with them. And then, they called me to invite me to a 14-day challenge in Spanish. And it was every day at midnight for 14 days. And I thought to myself, not in a million years. And then, that night I was talking with my husband and I said, I don't want to do it. And so my husband was like, that's because you should do it. And I'm like, you're probably right. So I went ahead and did it because I didn't want to do it. And when I started on day 3, every day you had to listen to an audio. It was about an hour audio. And then you discuss it with it was 300 people on a call at midnight. and somebody would share, and from what somebody was sharing, you would get something. But I honestly, for the first 3-4 days, I was like, what am I doing? And I remember calling one of my representatives in the company that's actually lives in Houston, but it's Peruvian. So I had invited her to hop on with me. And she said, I said, I want to quit because it's every night. I'm exhausted by now, go to bed so late. And she said, there has to be something here for us. Please, let's not quit. And I thought to myself, I'm her leader. If I'm a quitter, then we're all screwed. So I decided to stay just for her. And by day 5, something lifted. It was as if the circle was finished. And it was the tools that you need to make those thoughts a reality. And the audios are called, and you may have heard of them, Jack, they're called Your Wish is Your Command. They're in English as well. I happen to listen to the translation. They're originally in English. So it's called Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. And they're free on YouTube, so you can listen to them as fast or as slow as you want. And what I'm doing with my team, and I'm on my second time around, I actually run a growth hour every Wednesday at noon. I do my team, but then I open it to anybody in the company. So I have people from other teams logging in. And after the first group of people finish those 14 weeks, I do one audio every week and a workbook. So we go real deep. There's workbooks online you can find for free as well. I had so many people talking about the things that were happening in their lives after it that now on my second one, I can barely handle. I have over 100 people every Wednesday. But what I'm trying to get to you is it's so powerful. Listen to them, but give it a moment. By audio 3, you may get cocky like I got and be like, there's nothing here for me. This information is not new. I already know, but I promise you by audio 5. And they're about an hour each audio, so it's very difficult to find an hour, I find. Yes, I can put it on the chat, absolutely. But it's very difficult to find find an hour to listen to anything. So I listen while I cook, while I drive, and listen several times. So I don't even know at this point how many times around I've been since I've been running this group. So powerful beyond belief, more powerful than anything I've ever heard. And I've read a lot. So for Selah and everybody else, your wish is your command. I'm going to put it on the chat.
Okay, perfect. And let me see, because Stephanie's off to the side.
I found it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to talk to you, so I'll probably call you.
Let's get together. I met with Keith the other day. He's in San Lucia. I met him here. And I'm like, where are you? Like, your internet is so choppy. He's like, I'm in San Lucia. Oh, my goodness. What are you doing all the way there?
Hey, Stephanie, I know
Yes.
you wanted to say something to Selah, make a suggestion, so go ahead.
Yes. As far as a book, I don't know if you guys have read The 5 Gears, and I don't have I did have it here, but I gave it to my coworker, but it's called 5 Gears. And on my desk here, you'll see that we actually created these. If you can see them.
Yep, we can.
There's the 5 right there. There's the 5. This really helped me when it comes to time management and organization, because it not only makes it more clear of what you do at home after work or before work or whatever, but like one is you take time for yourself. This is the time when you need to be by yourself and you need to do what you need to do to help you reboost your energy. 2 is going to be your family or your spouse. 2, so like if I go home and I'm rattling a million miles an hour and my husband says, Steph, all he has to do is show me 2. That means, okay, you're home now, let work go, and let's communicate as a family. Okay. So 3 is your social. This is where you're out, so at work, I wouldn't have 1 or 2. At work, I have 3 through 5. So at work, 3 is that you are socializing, you're up to people interrupting you, you're willing to talk about your weekend or whatever you did. Okay. 4 is you're a little more focused, but you're multitasking. So you're able to check your email, you're able to work with your clients, you're able to do a presentation, you're able to do all of that and still be interrupted by someone in your office with a question. Okay. 5 is very important because 5 is pure focus. 5 means you cannot be interrupted. You need to focus on what you're doing. And so what we've done here in our company, and not everybody's read it, but this is what works for me, is that I have those on my desk and I can let people know. It's a way to let people know without offending them. Or making them feel bad about that. So if I'm in a 5, they know that they either put a note on my desk or send me an email that says time frame, something like that. But it lets you know, and it gives you the opportunity to, like my husband, you know, without saying, Steph, can you shut up now? I need to talk to you about something about our son. You know, all he has to say is, I need you in 2. And so that gives you a moment, and then they'll give you a moment to kind of transition into where you need to be. And that book was amazing when it came to time management and organization for me.
Thank you. That is super useful. You know, I like anything that just creates an awareness, and I think and gives you wording. You know, I remember my husband and I, we just had started dating, and we both had just gone to a course called Landmark Education. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it talks about certain things, and it gives you certain words that don't exist, but it's just tools. And we were able to communicate at a different level just because we have that same language that are, you know, awareness. And so thank you. That's pretty awesome.
You're welcome.
What was the name of that again, Alexandra?
It's called the
5
gears. So it's the number 5 and then gears. Yeah.
Yeah, that I wrote down. I'm sorry. What did you say, Alejandra?
No, it was 5 gears, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what were you just talking about?
No, it's called Landmark Education. That's a course.
Yeah,
like a 3-day
I'm
thing.
aware. No, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I've been through,
Life changing.
yeah.
Transforming.
From my side, I'm going to recommend, and I'm going from memory here, but I think the book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the author is Kobayashi. So
Robert Kiyosaki.
My suggestion to you is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kobayashi. You should be able to find it.
Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki.
This
guy right here.
Kiyosaki.
This guy right here.
Okay.
Robert
So did you
Kiyosaki.
like that book? Did you read that
Oh,
book?
I already got it.
Love it.
I haven't read it yet, but I have it.
Oh, you should. Love it. Love it. And I love his board game as well. What's the name of it, Jack? Help me out. There's a board game, and there's one for children too, and one for teenagers too.
Really?
And there's groups here in Pittsburgh that meet just to play cash flow. It's called Cash Flow.
You know, the interesting thing is that I actually have the book, I think, on audio, and I started listening to it at the beginning of COVID, and I couldn't handle it because it was the first chapter or whatever, you know, your concept of money, and so I was just like, no, I feel so negative right now. I can't deal with this. So I stopped listening to it, but I bought it hardback, or, you know, a regular book too. So eventually I'll pick it back up.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
When the student is ready.
Exactly.
Well, Stephanie Rukin, do you
Yes.
have a book you would like to recommend to Selah?
No, I don't have a book, but if anyone's never watched it, I'd recommend watching Shark Tank. You learn a lot from watching that show. When you don't know what you're talking about, they tell you. I like Mr. Wonderful. He is so straight to the point. And if you're not good at business, he's going to tell you like it is.
Same with Mark
I learn a
Cuban.
lot. I learn a lot from watching him in that show.
I've been binge watching The Prophet, which is with Marcus Lemonis. And I mean, when I had cable, I used to watch it weekly. And so since I got Peacock, I've been watching it from the very beginning. I'm now in like season 7, I think. And it's really changed my mindset a little bit more about my business. And So anyway, it's helped a lot. The other thing that I read when I first started my business, it was called The Go Giver. And it's about being generous and serving your community and so forth. And so I enjoyed that book as well.
That is a great book, by the way. It really is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Rhoda, do you want to say a book you've been reading or a TV show you like to Selah?
Be very, very good for Selah. It's called Raving Fans, and it's by the authors of Who Moved My Cheese? So it's by Ken Blanchard and Sheldon Bowles. And so here is the paragraph that describes the book. Your customers are only satisfied when their expectations are so low and no one else is doing any better than you. Just having satisfied customers isn't good enough anymore. If you really want a booming business, you have to create raving fans. It's very simple to read, short book. And so this is the book that I'd recommend for him.
Okay. And wow, I'm going to take a double dip at the risk of overwhelming poor Selah because I think we've given him stuff for maybe the next 6 months or to the end of 2021. But you just took me back because I think they were about the same period. Anything by Stephen Covey.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot. Okay, I see a lot of nodding heads.
Yeah.
So Stephen Covey, Covey, is also a good author to read from. Okay, guys, we are actually hitting here 2:57. And again, I don't know if people have other video chats or whatever, but I do want to get everybody out in time for 3, our time over here. Any last questions or comments on absolutely anything?
I just think I don't see everybody's information on the chat. Like you usually put everybody's information so that you can distribute that for everybody. I put mine. If everybody can put their own so that we can communicate with each other outside of here, I think that's where the real relationship begins.
Absolutely.
I have a beautiful friendship with Jack right now. We've met out here. I bought his cleaning products. They're wonderful. I will continue purchasing from him. I've made great friendships out of here. So that's the way that we connect. So if you don't mind, give everybody a minute so we can do that.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you for the plug, Alejandra.
Please do that.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, they're great. They clean wonderfully. Look, I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, so there's things in the house, and your stuff works without harsh chemicals.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jack. I am a member of Melaleuca, and I deal with asthma really bad, and that's the only thing I clean with in my house is the Melaleuca products.
Good for you.
Wonderful.
Good for you. Yeah, those are great. They are great products. Yeah, we would. Yeah, it's they're fabulous. It was a blessing when we were introduced to it, and we kind of prejudged it initially. But I'll leave you guys with a great quote I heard today from. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the publication Epic Times, but there was a great quote. It actually came from Napoleon Bonaparte, but it goes, "Courage is not having the strength to go on; it's going on when you don't have the strength." That really impressed me. I thought that was a great quote. Mm-hmm. Courage is not having the strength to go on, but going on when you don't have the strength.
Okay, excellent.
That's great.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank
Well, listen,
you, everyone.
All right, guys.
2:59.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's put in their contact information in the chat. I'll try to find it. I'll email everybody. And don't forget, it's a 24-hour window for people in this group to sign up for the whole of next year. Jack, I got you covered. Don't worry about that. And then that's it. I'll see everybody again in 2 weeks.
All right. Take care.
Hey,
everyone.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
You said that's for the next 24 hours? That was my boss that came in behind me. You said that was for the next 24 hours?
Well, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to make it available to only this group because I'm going to limit it to 5 people because the whole meeting is limited to 10. Mm-hmm. And then if we don't fill up the 5 slots between the people in this meeting, then I'm going to email it to all 1,600 people that are on my mailing list. So I'm hoping we might be able to fill all 5 slots with people in this group.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Barb. I look forward to your phone call. Let's meet for coffee here on Zoom.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.